Today my morning cup of coffee is treating the old noodle as if it were a morning hit off a muggle. No, not one of those muggles, the other kind. Weird thoughts today. Like, what if Marion McPartland from Piano Jazz had a kid with Drill Sergeant Harvey Walden from Celebrity Fit Club?
There will be sweat.
That was a treat.
Weird, stupid stuff. Gotta be the weather. It's March. I live in Savannah. It's supposed to be 70 degrees outside. Well, it ain't. Shoot, there's flippin' snow on the ground in my hometown of Trenton, GA, up north. No matter how hard old man meteorologist tries, or old woman meteorologist, don't want to be sexist, neither rain nor sleet, nor the skank that has become March Madness can kill the smell of baseball. I'm Ray Steele, the Braves lifer. This is spring training. Here's the pitch. Grapefruits and grape nuts, day number 1. Rain was in the forecast, but the Braves and Mets played because it did not rain. And now before Mets gravy trainer goes gaga because their scoreboard was bigger than ours, well, I don't need to remind you that the games don't count. It is true, I said the Braves should open up the spring training schedule against a real live baseball team, so there. My deep-fried crow with grits, which actually sounds pretty good right now. All in all, the news was good for our beloved Native Americans. Tommy Hanson started, pitched 2 blanks, 3 strikeouts, would have had 4 strikeouts, but the Mets didn't play Jeff Francoeur. Chris Medlin relieved. He also tossed a pair of blanks. That's good news, considering that we will need him when Jair Jurgen's arm starts hurting again. That's right, I said when, not if. I just have a hunch there. And as for Zeus, well, Jay Hay walked a couple of times. He had a rocket shot for a single, plus he stole third after taking second on a wild pitch very niftily. So yeah, if you didn't know, yo booty better call somebody, because Jay Hay not only is cash for clunkers with a bat, Zeus, all 6'5", 245 of him, also has 20-year-old legs, and he knows how to use them. Now, there are those who will think, where's plate number 2 of crow for Mr. Steele for torching Mr. Hayward as he did yesterday? No. My torch was not for Mr. Hayward. My bonfire, you may recall, or you should recall, was lit for the people comparing a guy who has been to the plate fewer than 200 times at AA or higher, comparing him to the Hammer and the Mick. You can't do that yet. Shoot, even if he goes out this season, whacks 40, steals 20, and he OBPs 400. You down with OBP? Hey, somebody's got to laugh at my crappy jokes. You still can't compare him to Hank and Mantle. As the excellent Braves blogger Alex Remington noted, it wasn't all that long ago that some kid named Andrew Jones, or Andrew as Ernie Johnson used to call him, had a 98.7% chance of reaching 500 home runs. Only doubter from yesterday was Jesse Chavez, who pitched more like Hugo Chavez, giving up a very communistic 3 runs, 2 earned, in his first inning as a Brave since coming over in that trade from the Cigar Nation. That's the trade that sent Rafe Soriano down to Stogieville. But it's only one game and a meaningless one. Chipper didn't play, Matt Diaz didn't play, Wingy Gloss didn't play. Wingy, that's W-I-N-G-Y. And if you want to get the obscure reference there, you need to Google Wingy Manone. That's M-A-N-O-N-E. However, Mr. Cox says that Wingy, along with Chipper and Matt, will probably play today when the Braves are forced to share the field with the Mets once again. Pretty good story from David O'Brien in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution this week about Billy Wagner, who, unless his wing falls off in Orlando, will be the Braves' closer when the season starts. There's one thing that bothered me about the story, though. The use of the word, and thought we had gotten rid of this word, gravitas. Come on, David, really? Gravitas? Billy Wagner doesn't have gravitas. Billy Wagner is just a big old redneck, and he's very proud of it. There's nothing wrong with that. We all know what gravitas really means, don't we? But I suppose if you work in the regular media, you can't just come out and say that someone has second half of the word baseball pluralized, okay? How about we use this variation, the one that was made popular by the great Mick Foley, testicular fortitude. It could be a medical term, couldn't it? And it rolls off the tongue much better than the B word does. I hope Mick Foley hasn't trademarked that, by the way. I do try to steal from the best, after all. The answer is yes. I may be the only one, but I absolutely believe Chipper Jones when he says that he will retire if he plays this season as he did last year. Now, he didn't play as badly as some people think, but he did regress from 2008. Come on, though. He's going to regress some. Chipper will be 38 next month, and since he doesn't wear Barry Bonds' hat size, Barry Bonds' 38-year-old hat size, not the 25-year-old Barry Bonds hat size. Since he doesn't, Chipper's performance is bound to fall off somewhat. So, if Chipper doesn't feel like pulling an Andre Dawson, hanging around for a few years, playing very badly for those few years simply to inflate his numbers to make a Hall of Fame case, then Chipper shouldn't do that. After all, Chipper could retire today and be a lock for the Hall of Fame, or he should be. So yes, believe Chipper when he says he may quit after this season, if for no other reason than Chipper's last name isn't Favre. Time to go prospecting. Let's take a look at left-handed pitcher Brett Duvall. Some project Brett as a number 2 starter someday. Some project him as a loogie. Now, if you're new to that terminology, that stands for left-handed one-out guy, which you can be a loogie for a very long time in the bigs these days. Now, we won't really know much about Brett Duvall for a while because he will miss most, if not all, of this season after having to take the spare ligament out of his trunk and put it in his pitching elbow, the old Tommy John. So we'll have to reserve judgment as to whether Brett Duvall might be the next Tom Glavine or the next Ray King, if that. Instead, let's take a look at another lefty that we got a brief taste of last year. I got to see him when the Rome Braves came to Savannah late in the season, and that's Mike Minor, Braves' first-round draft pick last year out of Vanderbilt. He only had a tablespoon of sorghum in Rome, but it was a very sweet tablespoon. 4 starts, 14 innings, only 1 earned run, no walks, and 17 strikeouts. Not bad. Now, the downside is Minor did not pitch as well in the Arizona Fall League last year. So, by virtue of that, I think he should start the season at High A Myrtle Beach. Now, there are a lot of folks that think he will start at Double A Mississippi instead. I really hope it's High A, though, because the Braves have absolutely no need to advance Mike Minor too quickly. Now, there's some dude writing for the Tennessean in Nashville a few weeks ago, had a story with the headline that read, Mike Minor nears a spot in Braves rotation. No. Not if the Braves have any medulla oblongata action in the front office at all. They will take their sweet time with Mike Minor. Now, when Mike Minor does make the show, his major behind the plate could be Christian Betancourt. He's only 18 years old, and there is a chance he could start the season at Rome. Yes, he is supposed to be that good. His defense is supposedly incredible. Plus, he has 20-homer potential with the bat. It's kind of hard to tell right now. He only played in 46 games last year in rookie ball, 32 in the Gulf Coast League, 14 with Danville in the Appalachian League. Overall line wasn't bad. His hitting line wasn't great, though. 277, 342, 446 with 4 home runs. However, he also had 14 doubles, which for 46 games is pretty good. So hopefully he's taking his Flintstones vitamins. Those will kick in, and some of those doubles will turn into bombs this year. Let's wait a full season before we start calling him the next Pudge Rodriguez or the next Crash Davis.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry. You know, anything travels that far, I ought to have a damn stewardess on it, don't you think?
Whichever the case may be. But we should have a lot of fun following Christian Betancourt this season. That's today's pod. Next time out, we will prospect with Zeke. Every team needs a Zeke, don't it? Plus, I will go an entire pod without mentioning Jeff Francoeur and his pitch-taking affliction. No, really, I will. I'm Ray Steele, the Braves Lifer. Thanks for listening.